How you doing, everyone? My name's Chris, the founder of SalesBots, and I want to give everyone an insight into who I am, why I've created this company, and just be a little bit honest with you. Well, really honest, because last year was probably one of the worst years of my life. Mentally, I've struggled with mental health for a good 2 or 3 years, 3 years I'd say. But last year it was, it was on the floor. I was a broken man inside. On the outside looking in, you probably wouldn't have known. I had a great job. I loved it. And I was very passionate in my job. I'm a very passionate person, but inside I was a broken man. And I was so lonely, if I'm brutally honest. Loneliness is not something really spoken about. And it is a really dark place to be in, where you feel so alone and so unhappy. Now, I felt suicidal, but I didn't want to kill myself. I felt suicidal. I felt like, what is the point in life if this is how I feel? That's how I felt. Probably the wrong term, suicidal, but that's how I felt. I was so low. So I knew I had to make a change. So I made a big decision to quit my job, a job I loved, and a job that loved me as well. And I found another job in Dubai because I needed to change my environment. I knew that if I kept going the way I was, then, changing jobs it's not going to change what's going on inside. I used to drink a lot to escape my reality. And I just didn't want to be that guy anymore, lying to myself and lying to the people around me about how good I'm feeling when I was feeling terrible. So I moved out and was waiting for the things to move forward from the Dubai job. And all of a sudden things took a turn and it just didn't materialize. And I'll be honest with you, it nearly broke me, mate. It nearly broke me. I was buzzing, I was absolutely buzzing. But what happened was the Dubai job never materialized, and I had a serious back injury as well. I couldn't get out of bed for around about 3 weeks. I could get out of bed a little bit, but I couldn't really walk, and it forced me into isolation. I couldn't go anywhere, I couldn't do anything, and I was just really down in the dumps, if I'm honest. So it forced me to really evaluate who I am as a person, what I'm passionate about, and how to pull myself out of this hole. And I've always been in sales, last 15, 20 years. I love sales. I've been on the phone. Sales management was my sort of skill. I was a great manager of teams. I've always done well. And I love building sales systems and the buzz, and, I love it. So I was like, I need to try and solve a problem, and I have to be my own boss. I don't want to have to answer to people, and I don't want my decisions to be questioned, because I feel like I'm very confident in what I do. So obviously, all sales people, they love good leads, hot leads, the Glengarrys, So I thought to myself, how can I make leads better? Leads qualification. And this is where SalesBot, the idea came to light. Obviously, AI is at the forefront of every business's mind at the moment. So how, a lot of businesses are like, AI, how do we implement it, or how do we get something that can work for us? So SalesBots genuinely will improve people's sales pipelines and bottom line. I just know it, okay? And that's what I've done. I've built SalesBots. It's given me a purpose. You know, I've completely changed my identity. You know, I've given up drinking. My diet has cleaned up massively. I go to the gym. I don't really like the gym, but I love the feeling after. And, you know, I like going on walks in nature. And I've had to completely kind of distance myself from society, really, to get myself out of this loneliness and this place where I was so unhappy. But what happened was, starting to get the idea and starting to create this buzz in my head and writing things down on paper and researching, I started to forget about how I was feeling, and it started to feel good. I made a few big decisions of, non-negotiables, and I found myself, and I started to look in the mirror and I started to think, yeah, come on, let's go. Like, we can do this. So SalesBots, it took me 3 months to come up with the idea, build it, implement it with the developers, and come up with the systems and the processes and the strategy. I mean, you're going to see, look, imagine this, right? You've come up with an idea that doesn't really exist. Yeah, so you're going to see a lot of repetition in my content because I need to train the market on what a sales bot is. It's a new category in sales. And I believe this with all of my heart, that sales bots are going to be an industry standard in sales. And I'm going to take this company to Dubai on my own, and I'm going to live that dream I had to move to Dubai and partner with a big company, and I'm going to be there and I'm going to create it myself, and I'm going to dig myself out of this hole. Now, I'm saying this not from a victim mentality. I need to put that out there. I'm saying this to give you the raw truth and why I'm building this. And I want you to see my journey. I'm going to do a few more of these videos throughout the process. It's not all content, SalesBots content like I've been doing on the shorts, because if you watch all of them, it's very repetitive. At the moment, I am creating a new category, and category creation is, repetition, consistency, and volume. I've got to put this terminology into the marketplace. And listen, if you're a business owner or you work in sales or marketing, believe me, this will improve your sales pipeline. Have a look at it, and thanks for listening, and follow the journey, because SalesBots, we're going for the stars. Take care, all the best.